Good afternoon. Once again, welcome to the Mo International Sports Center, Kasarani. It's game number 8 of the CECAFA Women Champions League qualifiers right here in Nairobi. It's YEI joint stars taking on Vihiga Queens, two teams that have to win today if they are to join the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in the other round. But I'm not alone. I'm in the company of Gladys Midecha, who's seen it all today, Gladys.
Gregory, let me tell you, if the first game started with 11 goals, I don't know what this match has for us. It's going to be absolutely exciting. Both teams knowing that they need a win, especially Vihiga Queens coming into this game after losing their first match against the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. And after that match, I think they're consoling themselves that they actually soaked in just a few more goals. And what a match it was for YEI Joint Stars, because those are the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia are their next opponents. So here it will be a win for any other team.
Those are the highlights from that match. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia taking on their opponents from Zanzibar. That is the new generation, and it was quite a match as we watch these highlights. 10 goals, 4 in the first half, then 5 in the second half. Look at that. Once again, midfield battle won by the Ethiopians.
And Gregory, if you look at that pass, same fashion, they always know how to place themselves. Look at how far it came from Captain Loza leading from all the way from the midfield to Baza. This lady was actually the destroyer-in-chief against Vihiga Queens. And what a reply there from Mpanja of the new generation side. Unfortunately, that was not enough to save them from this beautiful goal by Captain Fantastic Loza. This lady has 200 goals to her name, 5 in the first match, and in the match that she played today. So really, she has just shown how beautiful she is when it comes to that ball. And look at that free kick, Greg. Goalkeeping error again. As a goalkeeper, you have to learn how to punch those ones out because you put on pressure to it. And Happy, really, I don't think she had any happiness today giving out that penalty. And you know, when you're a defender and you're under so much pressure, really you have to, you know, you get so frustrated, and most of the times it's usually very difficult. Look at her. She's looking up at where the opponents are. She looked at where the goalkeeper was, and so, you know what, I am going to shoot this shot, and she did, and it was a beautiful goal.
And
again,
you just got to love the spirit of these Ethiopians. Look at how they play together like a unit that has stuck together for long.
A very spirited side. I remember in the first press conference you asked the coach how he's planned for these preparations, and the one thing that he said that caught my ear is the fact that they've been training for 3 months for this particular tournament, so they are well gelled as a team. Look at Baza again, beautiful goal, beating her marker, finding her space, and look at the love shared. Again, happy, not so happy with the kind of defending that the new generation side has given. Second penalty of the day conceded by Happy, and there you have it, 10 goals.
10 goals, insurmountable. Too many goals. But today we have another match that the home girls, Vihiga Queens, taking on YEI Joint of South Sudan. You can see these are the Sudanese who are really looking fresh, and they want the second win.
The rest was well deserved for both teams. Regrouping was needed for Vihiga Queens, but these YEI Joint Stars are coming in this game with a win. Confidence booster for them, if you ask me. And they have to be very, very careful against a wounded Vihiga side that know they need to win this particular match. YEI Joint Stars are from South Sudan, a team that was formed in 2019. Not really much can be said about them. They are young. And if you look at that formation, 4-2-3-1, they're going to convert to a 4-5-1 when they lose the ball. They're going to miss the presence of their captain, Luca, whose place has been taken by Kuwach right there on the left wing. And again, we're going to see, I think Joseph is going to captain this side. We remember her, she scored a goal in the first match. She's moved all the way to right back, and she has taken the place of the injured number 21, a very resilient defender. And number 9, Stevie. A lot of people don't know much about her, but she was the top scorer for YEI Stars before they came into this competition. And the number 7, very skillful, very fast First Lady there, Adut. She's going to be causing damage to the defense. And if Vihiga have learned anything from their first match, it is communication is key to a defense.
And there you go. Very, very, very happy. And look at those. She's been very immense. In the first game against New Generation, we saw what she did, scoring that beautiful goal. That is Adu Traim, who is 18 years of age and already has 3 caps.
That tells you the kind of generation that this Sudanese, South Sudanese side have. They are, with a women's league that just started this year. It's going to be absolutely vital for these teams. And look at the joy they have in their faces. That's Makunga Joseph. She's playing fullback today. She used to play for a team called Super Weed in Uganda.
And she's 18.
Only 18 years old. She's bringing so much experience into this much-needed match today, and it's going to be absolutely vital. I think she's going to be captaining the side. She's been absolutely immense for the South Sudanese ladies.
Definitely. And Coach Lual had this to say about the upcoming match.
أنا في جاهزية تامة لأن في حديثي فريق بتاع كينيا فريق يعني صاحب خبرات، لكن نحن يعني خدنا له ألف حساب ونحترمه وحنلعب معه يعني حسب الجرعات وحسب الحركة بتاعته إن كان شفناه في المباراة الفات. فإن شاء الله نحن يعني ما بنتكلم، لكن بعد ما نخش الميدان بعد ذاك نحن حنعمل حساب وحنلعب حسب يعني الأداء اللي هو بيأديه يعني.
I respect the Vihiga or the Kenyan team based on the experience they have. That is true. For that case, they have been identifying the mistakes they have or the opportunities they may have or their strength. So based on that, it's all in the field. The girls are not much that experienced, but Vihiga is experienced. They have played a lot of tournaments. They have been exposed to the infrastructure so far, but the game with the 90 minutes will just justify.
There you heard from Coach Luel. He's very confident about the girls. He knows that they can get that win because Vihiga are already wounded.
Well, let me tell you something, Gregory. From the way they played their first match, they're exuding a lot of confidence. They're taking it one game at a time for them. They are champions in their own right. And you see, when it comes to Vihiga Queens, they have the likes of Gentrix Shikangwa, their jersey number 14, and Morina Chieng. She scored a brace in the first game. It was not enough to help them get the win. However, if you look at this formation, they are playing the 4-3-3. They are going all-out attack. We're seeing a few changes at right back. Muderi is coming in, and Wanyonyi is also starting. And if you look at the front three, that is Triza Egesha, Milimu, and Wanyonyi. These are girls who have 38 goals between them. They just want to show you that they're going to absolutely score. In the midfield, we're seeing Anyango and Nabiire, and today Anyango is getting a start. And it's going to be absolutely vital for Vihiga Queens to make sure that they're not committing the same mistakes they committed against the CBE of Ethiopia.
But then, we talk about Gentrix. Very, 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 very clever from the left flank. Today playing at the heart of attack. What do you make of this? The kind of change Coach Okere has made?
Well, he had to make changes because Gentrix, she's instrumental at the flank, and it looks like they're going to be rotating between the three of them, if you ask me. She can play anywhere comfortably, 9 at the flank, 7 or 11. She's very comfortable on the ball. And as it is, they just want to confuse the opponent a little bit, not giving them too much options on who to be able to mark. So that kind of attack just tells you that Morina Chieng, who did a wonderful job collecting all the dead balls, and you can see the happiness on her face. Scoring a brace, exactly what she needed to get in this tournament. Already the kind of statement she's made is that if you give me any space, I'm going to shoot and I'm going to score. So it's going to be a very, very tough match. Greg, if you ask me, we're going to see goals in this first half.
Goals, and we talked to assistant coach Benjamin Nyamu, and this is what he had to say before the match.
Leo ni game yetu ya pili na nafikiri tumerekebisha makosa yetu. So tumekuja majaliwa, tukipata ushindi itakuwa plus kwetu.
YEI ni timu yenye ilishinda game ya kwanza na tunajua Saizi mnakuwa expected kushinda hii game. Wakenya wote wameka matumaini kwenyu. Wasichana wako leo wako aje? Wako psyched up kwa hii game?
Naweza sema wako psyched up kwa hii game. Na kulingana na mimi na expect wa perform sababu wame correct mistakes zao zenye walifanya game ya kwanza. Na niko na imani watashinda hii game ya leo.
Sema mambo ya imani, kuna mabadiliko umefanya kwenye kikosi na mfumo, tuone kama timu inaweza fanya vile unataka?
Nimejaribu kufanya tu mabadiliko mawili kwa defense. Kama mlivyojua defense yetu ilikuwa na some lapses. So nimejaribu kuleta mchezaji mmoja kwa defense. And then nimeweka mchezaji mmoja mbele kwa striking. So na expect wa perform kulingana na game ya leo.
Just quickly, he realized his mistake during the first match, 3 changes in defense. Of what impact will this have quickly as we move on?
Well, first and foremost, the most important thing you need to realize is the mistake that they made. They've corrected that. We've seen some changes in defense. We are hoping that Captain Mango is going to rally her troops this time round, enhance communication within the defense, because Lillian O'War is a top-notch goalkeeper, but she had a very difficult time because of the communication.
In the second match of the day, YEI Stars from South to Sudan are coming up against Vihiga Queens of Kenya. Well, this is the Group B. As you can see, weather focus here at 22 degrees centigrade. Very, very good weather for a game of football. And with wind of 14 kilometers an hour, we do expect that both sides, Vihiga and YEI, will give us a good performance. Well, as the Group B standings look like Commercial Bank of Ethiopia playing 2 matches with 6 points. YEI join with 3 points. New Generations 0 points, and Vihiga Queens have also 0 points on the table. Well, this brings us to a very, very, very important match this afternoon. Both teams, YEI and Vihiga Queens, need at least, especially Vihiga Queens, need to win this particular match to at least have an edge over the other teams. Remember, CBE have done damage this afternoon by beating the New Generations of Zanzibar by 10 goals to 1, and therefore they have found 14 goals and only conceded 3 with 6 points at the top. Vihiga must win this game this afternoon to keep any hopes of advancing at least. Vihiga Queens had a disastrous performance against the Ethiopia Commercial Bank, having lost 4 goals to 2. And as you heard from their coaches, they have organized themselves in such a way that they will have to bring their A game into this particular match in order to be able to beat YEI Join, who already have 3 points, having beaten the New Generations by 2 goals to 1. Well, right in the tunnel, you can see the marvelous ball of Umbro, and the referees of the day, Florentina Zablon Chief from Tanzania, who's going to be your center referee, bringing the players onto the pitch. Well, the CAF flag is leading the pack, just a representation that this tournament is under the confines of the Confederation of African Football. And being its first edition, held for the first time in the capital city of Kenya, the city of Nairobi, popularly referred to as the City of Cool Waters. Well, the referee Florentina Zablon Chief from Tanzania will be assisted by the first assistant Helen Joseph Duma, also from Tanzania, and second assistant Janet Charles Balama from Tanzania. And of course, the fourth official will be Shamira Nabada from Uganda. Match commissioner will be Aisha Narule from Uganda. Well, expected to be a pulsating match this afternoon. Both teams looking very glamorous indeed, with the team in the luminous green today being the home team, the Vihiga Queens. And on the left-hand side of your screen is YEI Stars of South Sudan. Well, they have to take off their tracksuits and remain in their green jerseys, green shirts, and yellow jerseys, yellow shorts, and yellow stockings. As for YEI Stars of South Sudan, they have started with a very, very strong lineup. They're the first team. Annette Kawa will be in goal. She'll be shielded by Noah Yesona, Kiliga Lukanga, Joseph Makunga, and in the midfield, Mary Dan, Annette Adebo will be there to provide the needed support for the attack that will be led by Adut Rim, Mary Quach, and Luca Deborah. Well, they have put up a very, very defensive side there, a 4-2-3-1 formation, meaning that they're going to have 4 players at the back, 5 players in the midfield, and of course at the top of that team will be Adut Reim. And as the usual protocols, the referee Florentina Zablon Chief takes an official picture alongside the first assistant Helen and the second assistant Janet, with the 2 captains involved. For Vihiga Queens, they've made a few changes, bringing in Lillian Awar in goal. She will be covered by Alice Mudezi, Vivian Makoha, Phoebe Owiti, Enes Mudeti, who is going to be the captain. And of course, in the midfield, Maureen Cheng will be there to provide the support for Gentrick Shikangwa, Violet Wanyonyi, and Obunya Engesha. They are in a 4-3-3 formation, meaning that in this particular match, it's going to be a battle for the midfield. And with what has transpired in the previous match between the CBE of Ethiopia and New Generations, goals galore will have to count in this game for Vihiga to be able at least to make good representation as far as the Group B is concerned. Well, getting ready, as you can see in your picture, Obunya Ongesa, jersey number 9, Gentry Shikangwa, jersey number 14. These are the 2 players that Vihiga will be looking at to be able to help out. And on the YEI side, Luca Debra, the number 9 jersey, lethal striker, will be providing the power in the forward line. Referee Florentina Zablon Chief from Tanzania. The team in white, YEI set to kick us off in this match. And Florentina Zablon Chief kicks us off in this particular game that proves to be very, very important for both sides. Or should YEI win, then Vihiga will have a difficult time moving forward. Well, a big punt up front, and to take us through this game is your lead commentator, Gilbert Mabise Serevwa, and I'll be alongside Lady Midecha as my co-analyst. Midecha, what do you expect from this match?
Well, thank you very much, Gilbert. I'm expecting a match that is going to be very highly tempered, a very high-paced match. Reason being, YEI Stars know that a win will seal for them a place in the next round, and Vihiga Queens need that win coming into this match because they lost their first game against the CBE of Ethiopia. Goal difference notwithstanding, they need a win.
They need a win. And of course, they're really not going to sit back at this particular point in time. They will try and push forward and try and get early goals in this game. Well, in possession is YEI. Well, we do apologize for the graphics. It is a technical hitch. Right back, Lokonga. Well, playing to the forward line, Gentry Shikanga brings the cross in, But again, the ball was too high and too hard and just missing to bring across in the first few minutes of the game.
Well, I tell you, this lady, at the formation they're playing, she's playing the 4-3-3. She looks like she's playing 10. But as I said earlier on, Gilbert, during the pre-match analysis, they're going to be interchanging between Triza Egesha and Wanyonyi, and you'll never know who just might take that ball. So it's a very good start from Vihiga Queens, showing intent, even as we look to see who has gotten a small knock right here, Gilbert.
Well, you're right. And there's a big punch forward to try and get a Dut Rain, donning number 7. Should be the key striker in this particular match. Look at Deborah. There's a throw from Joseph Makunga. Makunga, and then a hard tackle there coming in from a solid Vihiga defense line. About 35 yards from goal. The second minute, YEI gets a very, very important free kick. A lot of wide shots in front of the box. Well, a free kick coming in. It's a high ball trying to get the goalkeeper off guard here. But again, it's just too high for the goalkeeper, and it is a goal kick for Vihiga Queens.
Well, Gilbert, you know they have to be very careful not to give away those free kicks in dangerous areas. That was a good free kick. It was just way above, too much energy on it.
And that's an attack there by Vihiga. While the referee, Florentina, calls for a foul. And that is not Sumaya fouling Violet Wanyonyi, who is coming into play as a right offensive player. Again, the distance not very, very far from the goal. Is about, give it about 30 yards away from the YEI joint Stars goal.
Well, if there's anything Gentrix can do is score from that position.
Gentrix Chikangwa. Good shot, Gentrix, but it's a feeble one. Easy catch for Annette Kawa.
Well, you know, they had to a little bit change of guard. The YEI joint Stars. Nawal Majok today does not start in goal for them. This is Anna Steven. We actually saw her coming in the second half in their game against New Generation of Zanzibar in a match in which they won.
In the midfield, Maslina Nyango. Nyango with the wrong pass, and ball is kicked out for a throw-in. Picked up by Enes Mudezi. Enes Mudezi, Obunga Engesha. Engesha, big struggle. Enes Mugezi. Mugezi back to Phoebe Owiti. Owiti trying to find Obunga Engesha. Obunga Engesha with a cross, and it's a goal! 5 minutes. 5 minutes to the clock. A beautiful cross from Engesha Obunya from the left-hand side. Good pass down the midfield. Good pass, and what a finish. What a finish for Vihiga United.
That is
Queens.
Maureen. She scores her third goal for Vihiga Queens, her first of this match. This lady and 50-50 balls is actually very, very dangerous. We saw her pick them up in the game against CBE of Ethiopia. She's done this again, and Vihiga are looking to make sure that they're scoring early goals, close it in, and not give YEI Stars any chance. Look at that cross, Gilbert, a blind pass in to the right flank.
Oh, another cross there. While Midecha was still at it, Violet Wanyonyi on the right-hand side of the attack. Beautiful run on the right-hand side. Violet Wanyonyi in 6th minute from what looked like a weak cross. Good pass down the line, They're expected to bring a 45. The goalkeeper, Annette Kawa, goes out off his line, off her line, sorry, and Violet Wanyonyi puts Vihiga Queens in the 6th minute on 2 goals.
I think the power in that shot was just too heavy for her. And now Vihiga are actually making those very quick passes because they know the South Sudanese ladies have not settled into this match, and they want to take great advantage of that by making sure that they're not giving them any space to settle, Gilbert.
Great advantage. What a way to start. And again, Maslina Nyango, Obunga Engesha. Back to Mudezi. Mudezi, Maslin. A big tussle there in the midfield. Well, another throw from the captain, and it's Mudezi. Mudezi plays back to Phoebe Awiti. Awiti looks up, plays back to Mudezi. Mudezi tries to find Obunga Engesha. Again, clearance by the tall defenders. Captain, fantastic. Again, Mudezi. Back in the middle. Maslina Nyango tries to get the ball to Gentry Sikangwa, and the captain decides to punt the ball away with very, very, very serious intentions. Well, they're trying to need the passes of their own, but Vihiga have got nothing. They have Enes Mudezi with a good cross. Good ball control there. And at the moment when you expected Gentry Shikanga, she loses her footing when she should have been putting the ball in the net.
Gentrix Shikangwa is a gem. She's a beautiful girl to watch when it comes to football. Her footballing brain is actually very brilliant, and we know in those kind of spaces, you give her a chance, it will definitely be a goal. She missed a couple of good chances. As we look into that replay, that was definitely a foul there.
Well, it's going to be a pulsating evening. Vihiga getting 2 goals in a span of 6 minutes. Just showing their intentions. A long punt forward. Again, it's won in the midfield by Phoebe Awiti. Awiti back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha, Alice Muderi trying to get Violet Wanyonyi. But again, Joseph Makunga comes in very, very strong on the defensive side for YEI John. Again, YEI still in possession here. Battle there by Violet. Again, the ball still in the air. He's yet to settle down YEI. I think those two goals have really destabilized the YEI Joints.
They have, and they're wondering if they keep the ball down, will they get any possession? And this is a much better performance in the first 10 minutes from the Vihiga Queens of Kenya. They're looking to make sure that they're also sending out a statement. And just because they lost their first match, it doesn't mean they're not capable. These are 3-time champions of the Women's Premier League in Kenya, Gilbert. Very much capable of, and they know how to win when it matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The captain there, Noah Sumaya, knows what is coming her way. Phoebe Awiti in possession. Mudezi, Phoebe Awiti trying to get Gentrix Shikangwa. 9 Obunga Engesha with the long pass to Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi, good cross there! The goalkeeper, Annette Kawa, comes in at the nick of time and punches the ball out. Hits the crossbar for a throw-in.
Look at that, another blind pass. She just saw the space, put it in for Wanyonyi, who knows can run. And what a, you know, I think the keeper just got a tip to it and managed to push it up. And it was a save by the goalpost, if you ask me, Gilbert.
Absolutely, Annette Kawa standing very strong in the YEI joint stirs. And in for a corner by Gentrix Shikangwa. Shikangwa brings the long ball in the defense, and the ball still in play. Another good quality shot. Again, not really hitting the target this time.
And Gilbert, you have to give credit. Those are some very good corners we've seen in this tournament. And Vihiga actually know how to put it right into the box, into the sixth area. Because when you put it there, anyone can commit a foul. It's very easy for you to score an own goal. It's very easy for your teammate to get it. And it was an absolutely well-taken corner.
Well-taken corner. Big punt forward in the midfield. Well, it's a foul. It's a foul on Maria Ngong. Maria Ngong finding it very difficult in the middle of the park. There's a foul by Marceline Anyango.
Maria Ngong came in the second half in their match against New Generation. She's getting a start in midfield.
Another long punt with goalkeeper Lydian Awar today playing in a vital position for Vihiga Queens. Another great run through the midfield. It's a good pass there down the line. Alice Mudezi. Beautiful cross, wanting to find Gentrick Shikanga. But the captain, Noah Sumaya, turns the ball forward. Phoebe Owiti. Lilian Awar. Phoebe plays the ball in the midfield to Marceline Anyango. Marceline Anyango wide to Mudezi. Mudezi trying to get Shikanga Nua. And then good run there coming from Obunya Endesha. Endesha. And a very, very good clinical tackle there by Yosana Sara in the defense for YEI Joint. Quick throw there. Gentrick Shikanga not being able to hit that ball correctly. Mudezi with another cross. Again, goes straight to keeper Annette Kawa.
Well, you know, Sarah had to keep her eye on Triza. Triza was the top scorer for Vihiga Queens last season. She scored 17 goals. As a defender, if you have a striker with that kind of statistic, you have to be very careful, Gilbert. I don't blame her.
You have to be very, very careful. And of course, Vihiga, very, very serious in the encounter this afternoon, bringing in some serious changes that have already given them 2 goals in 6 minutes. While YEI stirs with an opportunity. Was coach Chol Lual. Very, very pensively looking at what he needs to do in order to change the fortunes. So far, it's Vihiga on the roll. A free kick awarded to Vihiga Queens.
The referee being very keen with those we've seen so far, Gilbert.
Well, it's another cross there coming in from Vivian Makoha. But again, it's an infringement. And the second assistant, Janet Charles Palama, there has to be a foul. A foul against YEI Joint right around the 20-yard mark. And whoever's going to take that should be Obunya Engesha. The prime position, very, very, very prime area for a direct shot to the goal. Obunya Engesha. Obunya Engesha. Obunya Engesha with a shot. And Obunya Engesha puts the ball in the net. Obunya Engesha just left the goalkeeper net. Kawa dumbfounded. She really didn't have anything to do. It looked so easy. The good carve, a banana kick right inside the box to the corner. No chance for Annette Kawa.
Well, Gilbert, if you look at that replay, and Engesha just knew where to place it. Terry, 17 goals to her name. She's getting her first in this tournament. That is the kind of motivation anyone needs. 3-0 to Vihiga Queens, 16 minutes. Gilbert, are we talking about another 10-goal match here?
Well, I think as it looks like Ethiopia Commercial Bank have something to talk about here. And another good shot. It's another quality shot here from Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi barely 1 minute apiece after Opunya Engesha had scored the third goal. Violet Wanyonyi calls a brilliant shot from a very, very unexpected move here. And we are in a roll here. That's a pass.
Look
it's
at
actually a
that,
pass.
Gilbert. A defensive error she was not able to control, and we know Violet can shoot. She looked at the goalkeeper, her positioning, put it far left. No goalkeeper would have saved that unless she was way behind the line, and you can see the joy in that Vihiga bench. They know how much goal difference will come into play for them, having conceded 4 goals in the first match. 4-0 for Vihiga Queens against YEI Stars. Only 17 minutes gone. Gilbert, I am beginning to see we're going to see another riot of goals here.
I think there's going to be a problem because already the organizers have lost 2 balls to the 2 Ethiopian girls.
I hope
and
they
at this
carry
particular
the
point in
whole
time,
side.
Violet Wanyonyi has 2 goals, and of course in place for the third goal. But again, we have to wait and see. Lydian Award.
That was a very costly mistake, Gilbert. They're just very lucky that the offense of the YEI Stars were not very, very quick.
Under the run on the left-hand side by Gentrix. Gentrix with a cross, and a good header there coming from Violet Wanyonyi. But again, she really did not have a better connection. But what a way for Gentrix. She gets into vital positions with a good cross. The goalkeeper off her line, and you did expect that Wanyonyi would have brought in a 45. The business would have been close here, but she decides to go by herself and try and score the 3rd goal.
Gilbert, you know, I used to be a goalkeeper, and I know how those crosses can cause jitters. And I tell you, every time I saw those kind of crosses, it used to be absolutely chaos. And I understand where the joint stars are coming from. They have to be very careful with those crosses, Gilbert.
Careful with those crosses. Mudezi. Though diminutive, but very important runs from the left-hand side from the captain. And a quick substitution coming in for the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper net exits the scene, and Nawal Majok comes in her place. Well, Annette Kawa has already conceded 4 goals, and most of those goals, from what the coach thinks, should have been at least been stopped. So a quick change there. Wanyonyi. Another rasping shot there from Wanyonyi, Violet. And she knows that at this point, that's actually Gentrix. She knows that she could be on the run for the 3rd ball, with the match ball here. Again, very good shot, a rasping shot, not really hitting the mark.
Well, Gilbert, I think the first line of defense is usually the defender. So even if you change the goalkeeper and there's no communication in that defense, you're still going to have the same problem, Gilbert.
Absolutely. Back in the midfield, Vivian Makoha, Phoebe Awiti plays the ball to the midfielder there. Good run again, but again, this time round, very bad pass coming from the midfield from the Vihiga Queens.
And Gilbert, if you look at how the defenders are standing, it tells you that they're leaving so much space in between all the players, giving Gentrix Shikangwa, Triza Egesha and Violet Wanyonyi enough space to run. And when that ball comes from the midfield, all they have to do is put it on the space. Now, what Vihiga Queens have to do right now is ensure that they're not giving away possession easily, because just because they're 4-0 up, it doesn't mean that they don't need a clean sheet. They actually do.
Absolutely. And it's a foul. Big punt forward. That really did not have a purpose. And the big central defender, Yosana Sara, not really kicking that ball the way it's supposed to be kicked. And those are the Simba Queens of Tanzania. Well, at the stands just to try and see what pans out in this one. Remember that Simba Queens of Tanzania could be playing either of the team that wins the Group B or the runners-up.
Well, I'm telling you, you have to watch what your opponent is doing. You know, you have to prepare for the battle ahead. They already know that it's going to be a team from either of these two as it stands right now. So it's going to be a very tough match. And after their draw yesterday, they don't know how it's going to go. You have to be careful. You have to watch your opponents.
And a good run there by Gentrix Shikangwa, but in an offside position. While Vihiga looking very, very dangerous, especially moving forward in transition from defense into attack. There's a big punt forward. Good control there. Fast touch, letting her down. Again, back to Obunya Engesha. Engesha to the captain, Daisy. Daisy, Engesha. Engesha with a big punt forward. Again, cleared by Yesona Sara. Again, battle in the midfield. Good control there by Shikangwa. Trying to play the ball to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi, again, not being able to get control of the ball in the midfield. Ball is in the air at this particular point. Mudezi plays it back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha, Phoebe, Maslin Anyango, Makoha, Mudezi, Makoha. Again, Maslin Anyango, back to Obunya, Mudezi, Maslin Anyango. Well, just toying around with these players, Gentrix, Mudezi, Gentrix, again, Mudezi. Good clearance there by the YEI. Well, just running rings around the YEI Stars.
Well, Gilbert, the one thing I've noticed is that Captain Mudezi there is having really short passes, which could be dangerous. She needs to put a little bit more effort in giving those very fast and quick passes, just to make sure they're getting to the player it should get to.
Absolutely. Nabire. Wanyonyi, another clearance again coming from Yesona Sara. Tough customer here, Yesona Sara, donning number 15 is throwing Wanyonyi, Gentrix. It's a good cross there, but really not hitting the mark. Vihiga toying around.
Let me tell you, you know, when you do that kind of, when you play that kind of football, you're really just trying to drain your opponents, because they're going to be doing much of chasing the ball, Gilbert, and that way you're actually creating more spaces for the other players to make runs. And even as that goal kick is taken, really it goes back into the midfield of the Vihiga Queens. Now, the one thing that Queens have done that has actually improved is that this time their wingers, their right back and their left back, are not committing themselves too much, so they have enough time and space to run back.
Absolutely. Joan Nabire trying to find Obunya Engesha. Obunya Engesha against the captain, Noah Tumaya. Again, the referee, Florentina Jablon Schiff from Tanzania, finds.
Well, that is Makunga Joseph. She's actually the captain for YEI Joint Stars. She is capable of scoring, Gilbert. And we saw her score in their last match against New Generation. And today she's playing in unfamiliar waters at right back.
Unfamiliar waters. At times when it's called for, you get onto your best players to try and seal a hole that might be in the team. That is Phoebe Awiti. The free kick there is a long free kick, Phoebe Awiti. But goalkeeper Nawal Majok, this time round, picking the ball in the right manner.
Well, Phoebe is apologizing because she knows she should have put it in the space, not allowing the goalkeeper enough room to run.
in the midfield. Marikwach playing it wide. Luka back in the midfield. Aneta Debo. Mudezi. And it looks like there is an infringement by Marikwach. Donning number 8 for YEI joint stirs.
Well, Mary Quach is an addition. She didn't play in the first match. She's coming in for their injured captain Luka, and it looks like she's having a tough time because they're not getting enough of the ball. They're not being given spaces to get that ball. And look at how Vihiga very fluid with their passing, much better.
It's a good run there by Bunya Ngesa. Bunya Ngesa with the cross there. Bunya Ngesa! That should have been the easiest goal by Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi, who has 2 goals to her credit. And a good cross again coming from Abunya Engesha, who's really doing a lot of good work, good runs, and bringing in good crosses from the left-hand side of the attack.
Well, that was a beautiful attempt there by Wanyonyi. As you said, too much. It might look easy to the eye, but we don't know how much weight it had to it. So maybe where we are seated from, let's give her the benefit of doubt, as
Absolutely.
you say, the easiest of goals.
Benefit of doubt. Phoebe Owiti, Alice Mudezi in the middle. Phoebe trying to get John Nabire. John Nabire plays back to Vivian Makoha. Vivian Makoha. Mudezi tries to get and a shot, but again a big punt forward by the captain Noah Sumaya. Back to Mudezi, a long pass in the midfield. Ubunga. Makoha. Owiti. Joan. Oh, Maureen, sorry. And that big pass. The goalkeeper off her line there. And almost gifting the Vihiga Queens another golden opportunity. That was a deep pass. Trying to find Shikangwa Gentrix. But again, a good defensive recovery there from the YEI joint stirs.
Goalkeeper there, and you know she had to do that because her insight was good. She knew that the ball Gentrix Shikangwa is dangerous, so she did the right thing coming out to give out a corner.
Well, the lady on the red boots brings in a corner there, but again, not a good corner at all from the right back, Alice Mudiri. The goal kick. 30th minute. If you were Chol Luol, the coach on the YEI side, what would you be advising your team at this point in time?
Well, at this particular point in time, it looks like first and foremost, the YEI Stars.
Well, still dangerous play. That is a good pass. Gentrix! And Gentrix just pulls. Another good save by Nawal Majok. That's a blockbuster. You did expect that Gentrix at this particular point today not playing on the left-hand side of the attack. They realize that she's very good, especially on the left, on left foot, and has put her in a prime position on the right-hand side of that attack. Another quality control there by Obunya Engesha. Another clumsy shot there, I would call it clumsy, from Phoebe Owiti, coming all the way from the central defense to try at least and get one of her own. Goal kick, Nawal Majok.
Well, Gilbert, I think it's just a little bit of inexperience from these YEI joint stars. Remember, their league just started early this year. They really don't have much experience, but they are champions in their own rights from their league.
They are champions. Violet Wanyonyi brings across. Goal! Maureen Achieng. A good run deep from the midfield with a quality cross from Violet Wanyonyi. Morina Cheng with the goal yarning to herself.
If you look at that replay, I did say this lady knows how to place herself. The 50-50 balls, she always looks like she's waiting for them. She's playing the number 10 role, you know, roaming around in that dangerous area, and she's really giving this Sudanese side a very difficult time.
Well, a difficult time it is, and as we speak in 31st minute, Vihiga Queens from Kenya leading by 5 goals to 0. Well, difficult moments. Calls for drastic changes. I'm looking at the organization of the Vihiga Queens. They've dropped back in their own half. They know that Jay will definitely punt the balls forward. And as soon as they pick the second ball, they zoom in into the YEI Stars defensive line and causing a lot of trouble. You can see more than 10 players behind the ball, meaning that they're denying time and space for YEI to be able at least to do something meaningful.
Well,
another good run on the left-hand side. And goalkeeper comes in at the nick of time from a cross from Kilenga Lukonga.
well, I was just about to talk about that highway that Aderi had left on that right side. Very, very dangerous, especially with the likes of this lady, number 7, Adutrem, who can actually make those runs. She's not supposed to be leaving that kind of space, because then you will get punished.
You will get punished. And in the midfield, there is a battle. Again, poor clearance from the YEI side, Mudezi. Mudezi trying to get to the ball. Again, back to Mudezi. Mudezi, and it's picked by the midfield maestro, Maslina Nyango. Back to Joan Nyabire. Joan Nyabire to the quick feet of Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi with another cross there, 45. Gentrix Shikangia! But again, Gentrix not on her favorite foot. She kicks a feeble shot there. Good run by Violet Wanyonyi.
I think the defender just actually blocked her shooting range. Otherwise, it would have been talking about something else. And we know how powerful she gives those shots. So the defender did well. They know she's the dangerous lady. And even if she's not scoring goals, she's providing and just, you know, causing havoc in that final third area.
Causing havoc in the final third. And again, a big punt to find Mary Kuach. Mary Kuach. Mary Kuach. Mary Kuach. It's not easy. Mary Kuach donning number 8 for YEI. But the little diminutive Enes Mudezi, the captain, comes in very handy and thwart that attack. That's a foul. Noah Sumaya. Sumaya with a long throw. Again, punted out. And still a throw ball from Sumaya. Again, another good header from Phoebe Awiti. Ball still in play. Captain of the side, Noah Sumaya. Sumaya plays the ball back to Annette Adebo. Again, another through ball. Another through ball to Gentrix Shikangwa. Gentrix Shikangwa. Gentrix. It's a good shot! But this time round, she aimed outside and not into the goal.
That was a 3v1 situation, her against 3 defenders, and look at what she does. You just one after the other, taking them out. Ay, this girl.
Well, Gentrix Shikangwa pulls some from Gladys Midecha. She's worried that given an opportunity, given time, given space, Shikangwa can really be a dangerous player. And there she is again onto the ball. She goes past the fast defender, and Shikangwa with a good shot. Very, very good goalkeeping by Nawal Majok.
Well, look at her. When she takes that, every time she wins the ball and she gets the space, she makes sure that her runs are dangerous play. And, you know, as a goalkeeper, you have to always be on toes.
You have to be on toes, and I think that's exactly what Naval Majok, who's coming in place of Annette Kawa, is really doing. Again, the ball is taken back by Vihiga Enes Mudeizi. Mudeizi plays it to Vivian. Vivian to Owiti. Owiti to Joan. Joan to Violet Wanyunyi. Violet Wanyunyi again with a spirited run there. Wanyunyi trying to find Obunga. Again, she cuts back Wanyunyi. Another shot that has been blocked and taken out for a corner. Violet Wanyunyi putting up some pace.
Well, Gilbert, I feel that was a little bit of selfish play. She did have numbers in the box. She should have passed that goal. You don't have to score all of them. You still have another half coming. And had she passed it, we'd be talking about the 6th goal as we approach this corner.
Absolutely. Very good defensive play there from the captain. Another big punt there, corner. But again, this time round, solely defending by YEI of South Sudan. And tomorrow, Lady Doves will be meeting PVP, Friday, sorry, will be meeting PVP. And of course, Commercial Bank will also be playing YEI Stars at the National Stadium. And here at Kasarani, Simba Queens will be facing Ford at 1 p.m. East African times. And New Generation will be battling it out with Vihiga Queens at 4 p.m. East African times. Well, the last match of the groups.
Yes, and you know, Lady Doves did get the draw in a very difficult game against the Simba Queens. New Generation.
Well, another attack there by Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi this time round taking over from Violet Wanyunyi as a right back, pushing forward and giving Violet Wanyunyi some time to rest. That's a spirited run there and a very, very quality defense put up by Noah Samaya. It's another corner. It's another corner. And it will be taken by the diminutive number 16, Alice Muderi. She plays a short corner there in the box. Control there by Shikangwa. Another shot! And it's a goal! What a way for Vihiga to play in the first half. 38th minute. 38th minute. The most dangerous striker on the Vihiga side, Gentrix. It's a poor call, defensive header there by the captain, Sumaya. And it drops right in front of Gentrix. She pulls the ball to her right foot and looks up with a beautiful shot. Upper 90. Goalkeeper, Nawak Majok, not being able to put her foot onto that ball. And as we speak, Vihiga Queens are on their roll. Vihiga Queens are on their roll with a beautiful taken shot there from Gentrix Shikangwa. And as we speak, 39 minutes, Vihiga lead YEI by 6 goals to 0.
You know, she didn't even celebrate that goal, just saying, you know, it's been long overdue for me. And Gentrix Shikangwa putting Vihiga in on 6. And YEI Stars look like they are on to making more substitutions here, Gil, but something is not working out. If you are conceding 6 goals, even as the coach, you really need to check on what is going on. But overall, if I was the coach, I'd just advise the ladies to try and be more composed, handle the ball a little bit more better, you know, exercise a little bit more patience, because I don't think they have possession.
They really don't have possession. YEI Stars do not have possession. And rightfully called by Janet Charles Balama, the second assistant for Tanzania. Again, Maya, number 21, goes out. I mean, John goes out, number 20, and Samaya, the number 21, comes on board.
I actually think that it is a Dutrem who's come off. Who's come off, and coming in is Mdong Simaya. Adut Reim has made way. They've reinforced in their midfield.
Well, it's actually Dut Reem, number 7, who's gone out, and Madong Simaya, number 21, who has come in her place. And I think it's just a forward for a forward to try and see whether they can be able to at least get something out of this game. It's been quite an outing for Gay Jointers. In the previous match, Commercial Bank of Ethiopia won by 10 goals to 1 against the New Generations from Zanzibar. And this group is proving to be a group of goals galore.
It's all about the goals.
It's all about the goals. Obunga Engesha and tries her luck, but again, Nawal Majok, very calming goal. Joan Nabire. But she loses it out to Luca Debora, who's really not into this game. Really, they've not been given her an opportunity to control that forward line. Poor punt forward, Daisy. Daisy plays in the midfield to Maslin Anyango. Anyango, again another foul. Referee waves play on. Captain. Long punt forward, trying to get Mary Quach. Again, very good clearance again from Phoebe Owiti. Throw in by Joseph Makunga. Coach Chol Luol. Gol has to be thinking on how to be able to reorganize and rejig her first team that is really having it rough against the Vihiga Queens.
Well, Gilbert, I think Alice Muderi has been having a beautiful game on that right side, really. A lot of improvement from that Vihiga Queens defense. But as you said, I know the coach is asking himself so many questions. 6 goals in the first half. What could be coming in the second? And how is he going to organize? It's all about mentality here. And you know the spirit that brings you into this competition.
Absolutely. Well, they need to bring in the fight that they had against the New Generations when they came back and scored 2 goals and won the game 2-1. So that energy is still needed in this game. And it's a foul. It's a big punt forward. But the ball goes begging. Annette Adebo not being able to get onto that ball. Well, a good build-up from the back from Vivian Makoha. Makoha back to the goalkeeper Lilian Awar getting involved. Vivian Makoha. Vivian Makoha in the midfield, Maslin Anyango. Maslin trying to get Mudaisy, but the ball is too much. It's a throw-in. Long punt, trying to find Mary Quach. Mary Quach in the punt. But again, solid defense by Phoebe Owiti. Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi in the midfield. Maureen Chieng. On the right-hand side, Violet Wanyunyi. Violet Wanyunyi and definitely Gentrix Shikangwa in an offside position. 45 minutes of the clock in the first half played with only 1 minute of added time. And any time from now, referee Florentina Zablon Chief from Tanzania will definitely calling for the first half. Well, another ball from the right-hand side, Joseph Makunga. Joseph Makunga, big punt forward here, trying to get to Mary Quach, but picked up in the midfield again by John Nabwire. Nabwire fighting out Violet Wanyonyi. And Florentina Zablon Chief, the center referee from Tanzania, calls an end to the first half. It's been a very pulsating first half with Vihiga Queens of Kenya dominating play in the first 45 minutes. Really, they've come in a very organized side. And Maureen Chieng had an opportunity from Luka Debora and from Obunyo Engesha, and a simple touch in the 5th minute. In the 6th minute, of course, Violet Wanyonyi with a good run on the right-hand side. She cuts back, sends no Sumaya to the gutters, and another feeble shot beating Annette Kawa. 16th minute, Obunga Engesha had an opportunity again, but Violet Wanyonyi from the defense, from the penalty kick. Wanyonyi in the 17th minute, again with the 4th goal of the game. In the 31st minute, Maureen Achieng from across from Wanyonyi. She brings across, Maureen Achieng smiles all the way to the net. And in the 38th minute, a good cross from the left-hand side finds Gentrix picking the ball on her right foot and plants the ball into an open net for the 6th goal of the day. And as we speak, at halftime, Vihiga Queens of Kenya leading YEI Stars by 6-0. We shall be back.
It's halftime at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Vihiga Queen leading by 6-0. This is inassailable, I can say.
Let me tell you, I know we talked about goals, but I didn't see 6 in the first half. I'm going to be very honest. And if you look at the attempts, Gregory, 14 attempts and 7 on target, that means that they're actually hungry for goals. And we did say that goals will come in handy in this match, especially after the CBE of Ethiopia already have 14 goals to their name in 2 matches. They need those goals. And Gregory, I don't know what the coach of YEI Stars is going to tell them to try and get them into this game, but the first thing that he needs to do is just get their players to, settle a little bit more, exercise a little bit of patience, but a much better start from Vihiga Queens of Kenya. This is the Vihiga Queens that most Kenyans know because they are champions.
They've rightly put a statement out there. Out of the 7 attempts, only 1 has been saved. The rest in the net. But then look at the possession, 68% of ball possession. This is a statement that they've sent. Despite falling to Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in the first match, they are here again.
They got it wrong tactically in the first match, but now they have corrected their mistakes. Now they are showing why they are 3-time Kenyan champions. And this statement is exactly the kind of statement that you'd want to send out there. Yes, I lost my first match. I've put myself together and I am winning the second match. And YEI Joint Stars are actually a good side. They're just not lucky enough to get the ball. They're left chasing shadows. By that possession, it tells you that they're seeing very little of the ball, Gregory.
Little of the ball, and talk about the front 3 of the Vihiga United Queens team. Vihiga Queens came in with 3 strikers, playing a 4-3-3 formation. And right now, all of them got in the score sheet.
As I said earlier on, Greg, they wanted to attack from the beginning. They were hungry for goals as it was. And you could see Gentrix Shikangwa, Terry and Violet all interchanging in those possessions. They're giving that defense a very hard time. And even the midfielders, not sure who to mark anymore and who to cut off. But Maureen has been absolutely phenomenal. 2 goals already to her name in this match, adding to the 2 that she had in the first match. 4 goals already. She's showing the reason why she's a 10, and she's bringing in immense experience with her age in that Vihiga's Queen side.
We talk about the first goal and look at how Maureen placed herself, ensuring that she's in the right place at the right time. The poacher's kind of goal. Look at that, the build-up. Look at the ball from the
Look at
from
how
the
they
midfield,
found
yes.
space, and this is the kind of attacking football that you want to see. Well crossed ball, the goalkeeper misjudged it. I usually say that the first, as much as the goalkeeper might be good, but you have to ensure that your defense is communicating. And really, the goalkeeper did well to come out, because already, look at the space that was left behind by the defense. That cross, beautiful, found Maureen, and she knew where to stand. And remember, Maureen is playing behind three very capable strikers.
A very capable striker, and just she knows when they're wide, she'll always come in and get that space. But then the second goal, also you look at how just barely had we watched the first goal, then Wanyonyi pokes in another one. Just was it a miscued cross or that was intended?
Look at where it came from first. Again, midfield. She looked up, put it in the space on the flanks, and we know Wanyonyi can run. Violet just looked up, put a lot of pressure on that ball. And I mean, you, as a goalkeeper, you want to punch that out. When you put your hands, your palms out open, you will definitely get injured by that kind of shot.
So was the goalkeeper not in a good position?
The goalkeeper
or
was not in a good position.
the ball just decided to change direction.
And then it's a little bit windy here, but look at where the goalkeeper was standing. She did see it, and her not being able to get it out means that it got in. So she actually assisted Violet with that goal, in my opinion. So what she would have done is just punched it. But the problem is, if she would have brought it back in, there's a very high possibility Gentrix Shikanga would have again put it at the back of the net.
And then enters Engesha Triza. Good goal from a set piece. Not many expected, but the wall could have done better.
Well, you know, Gregory, they say in football, the wall actually gives you accuracy. So the ball did not make any attempt in jumping to just create any sort of interference. And that was a good goal. Triza, top scorer for Vihiga Queens, 17 goals to her name. Look at her. She's exuding confidence.
But the
she knows.
should have at least jumped.
It should have jumped.
To prevent that ball.
It should have jumped.
Going goalwards.
It should have jumped. They were not high enough. They did jump, but just very little from the ground, even as you see it being taken again. And look at the frustration of the keeper, and she's asking, why didn't you do enough? That wall was not high enough. It was not well arranged. Had they jumped, probably we would have been talking about 5 goals.
And then they never seem to learn, as Violet poked once again, scoring goal number 4.
Well, let me tell you, Violet is one lady who knows how to place herself. Again, look at where the goal came from. Build up from Mango, and then that was a defensive blunder. When the midfielder was trying to clear the ball, it just went wide and then back to the cross at the wing. And look at that powerful shot from Violet. She knew she could do it from that angle. I know a lot of Kenyans who have been watching the Premier League, Women's Premier League, have been looking at how she's been scoring, and she's dangerous. She played for a local club called Falcons, and by the time she was coming to Vihiga, she actually knew that this was the job she was coming to do.
Score the goals, and definitely this is a goal that made the YEI Joint Stars side to actually change the keeper. But then goal number 5, Maureen again, pouncing once again in the right place at the right time.
Well, look again, where is it coming from? They've already seen the spaces. They know Violet can run, and she just made that run, that cross, beautiful from...
Well weighted.
Well weighted, and she knew where to place herself. Maureen always making that run, and she is playing again behind the strikers. So for her to get that kind of ball just tells you she knows her positioning. Look at that defender asking herself the questions. Where was I? Because she was the one who was supposed to make sure that Maureen is not going anywhere. So she's asking herself, where was I? Why wasn't I marking this lady?
And then Gentrix comes in, scores with the right foot, something that is not very usual. We've not seen that in many of her matches.
Well, Gentrix didn't even celebrate that goal because she's not been able to get it at the back of the net, and this was her first. And look at how she took out one defender, looked up, put it in the corner. I don't even think the goalkeeper had anticipated for it to go that far. And look at her face. She's actually looking for more.
With her overall performance
I
in
don't,
this match?
I don't think she's disappointed. She knows she can get more. She knows she can score goals. She's still a very young girl with very good potential. And look at the power in that shot. And YEI Joint Stars just don't have an answer as the first half concludes, because they look at it 6 goals down. It was not as if they had planned to take 6 off as they were going on to halftime.
But 6-6-6 during the first half, that scoreline is just insurmountable. It's something that nobody expected, especially after the first match performance by Vihiga.
Well, first match performance, really, it already showed you that Vihiga had the capability of scoring goals. And now in this second match, they're doing exactly that. Now the YEI Joint Stars have done 2 changes in this first half. They had to take out Adut because she was not getting the ball in any kind of final third. And again, we are seeing very little of Deborah, and she is a good striker. But again, those stars there tell you the substitutions that have been made. And if you look at how thin that bench is, they only the injuries are making YEI Stars suffer, and it's very unfortunate that these girls are not getting that opportunity to play. But hopefully Coach Chol will have something a little bit to say to the girls. If they can just try and maintain possession, be a little bit calm, be patient with their build-up, because they're losing the ball too easily in the midfield.
Definitely, they've not made a complete move into the Vihiga bench. And you look at this thin bench, do you feel that maybe the Vihiga United Queens coach should be confident looking at what he has in the bench? On the bench, you can see the likes of Janet Bundi, Bridget Muhonja. Whom do you think Mr. Okere can bring in to try and maybe bury this match?
First and foremost, I think Topista Situma might be given a second chance. She started in the first match. She didn't have a very, very good match. Mylene Award also started in the first match. We might see her coming back in. Janet Bundi, who had a little bit of strapping on her leg, might be probably, just told to wait and hold on and see how her leg is. But he has options now. The lead is comfortable. Probably he just wants to make a few substitutions in the probably 65th minute after they've added a few more goals just to seal it. And it's going to be very tough for YEI Stars coming in the second half, but a very spirited side they are. Give them a benefit of doubt, Gregory. They are very, very young. It's their first time from the South Sudan. They've just formed their league this year. Really, I think they have done well for themselves.
Definitely, and we'll be looking. Are you foreseeing more goals in this half?
I am foreseeing more goals because I don't want to rule out anything. Vihiga know that goal difference will be very, very vital. They already have conceded 4 goals. They will want to make up that deficit, so they will close. They will make sure that they're not creating any spaces and score more goals as much as possible as we see the captain leading her troops back in.
At 45 minutes, it's 6-0 in favor of Vihiga Queens right here at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. But then we have another huge 45 minutes to go. Let's see what happens. Back to you, Gilbert, in the commentary booth.
Thank you very much, Gregory Mulemi, and my analyst, Midecha. As we come back into the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, Vihiga Queens leading YEI Stars from South Sudan by 6-0. Well, Gladys Midecha has clearly put it that it's two-way, that YEI could come back and try and score goals and try and reduce the deficit, or Vihiga Queens would try and come in at least match the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, who thumped the new generation by 10-1. Well, if that is going to happen is a question of the next 45 minutes that we expect are going to be pulsating. YEI came into this game having beaten the new generations 2-1, and it's expected that they will come back a resilient side and try and see whether they can be able to make amends in the second half, something that has really gone haywire for them in the first half. Well, Vihiga came in knowing that a loss would definitely put them out of this tournament. So a win for them will also give them another opportunity to be able to go forward. And referee Florentina Zablonship from TZ brings us into the second half. And Vihiga again on the rise here. Alice Muderi tries to play in the midfield to Morina Cheng. Morina Cheng with a long pass to Obunga Engesha. Obunga Engesha on the left-hand side brings in the crowd, but a very, very good disciplined defense line by Jay thwarts that attack in the very, very early hours of the second half. Well, it's a foul. It's a foul in the box. And very, very spirited run, and that's a foul by Maslina Nyango, the midfield maestro, on Mary Dunn in the midfield for YEI John. Goalkeeper Nawal Majok has got a lot to do in the second half just to try and reduce the deficit here. The long punt forward, and a big header there by Bunya Engesha, but again it's cleared off the lines. Cleared off the lines in the midfield from the La Capite. Noan Sumaya. Again picked up on the left-hand side. A good shot there by Gentrix Shikangwa. A rasping shot, and it's parried out for a corner. Corner kick. Again, it's a good run and good shot there, but solid defending there from YEI. Puts the ball in a corner. Another cross coming in, trying to get to the tall player there, Wanyonyi. Back to number 9 there, Engesha. Again, this time round, a shot did not hit the target.
Well, Gilbert, what a start to the second half. We're seeing Vihiga Queens here trying to make sure that they're adding goals to this already soaring scoreline, and a poorly taken goal kick there, Gilbert.
Well, poorly taken has been the order of the day for the YEI Stars, and they have a free kick right in the center of the pitch. Mary Dunn, but she leaves it to Madong. Oh, it's actually Mary Dunn. Plays it to Madong Simaya. Madong Simaya. Madong Simaya. But very, very quality defensive play by Alice Mudeji. And that throw there by Madong. Again, picked up in the midfield by Maureen Cheng. And the referee in close proximity to the action there, Florentina Zablonship, calls for a foul. It's Vihiga Queens.
Well,
I don't know what your expectations are.
She had to ask for forgiveness immediately because she knew she gets a booking and their bench is already very, very thin. It would have been quite unfortunate.
Quite unfortunate. Again, Vihiga Queens asking the questions, but again, solid defense here by the tall, lanky defender, Noah Sumaya. Very, very solid indeed. Throw ball, Alice Muderi. Back. Picks across. Again, a clearance. This time Wanyonyi doesn't really hit the mark. The ball is still in play here. Picked up by Gentrix. Gentrix with a good cross, trying to find 21, Violet Wanyonyi. Again, a 45 really is not picked up properly by the Vihiga Queens. Still, they're still in possession. Enes Mudezi trying to get the ball to Obunga Engesha. Obunga Engesha. Obunga Engesha with a cross from the left-hand side by Enes Mudezi, the captain of the day. Obunga Engesha puts the ball in the net.
And look at that cross, Obunga Engesha in between two defenders, hands akimbo for the YEI Joint Stars players. They are just looking at the keeper and asking, where were you standing? And surely, Gilbert, 7 already. We're barely into 15 minutes. 7 goals for Vihiga Queens. YEI Stars yet to get an answer to that as Vihiga is attacking.
Tough encounter here. Jay have not given any answers to the questions that are being asked by the Vihiga Queens. Vihiga Queens must have had a meeting, a serious meeting with the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. They are on a route here, and we are only in the 50th minute, Itecha, and we are 7-0.
7 goals in the 50th minute. I'm telling you, I don't know why, Gilbert, but I foresee about 11 or 12 goals here if YEI Stars are not well organized.
Not well organized. It's from the left, Mudaisi. Control in the midfield by John Nabire. Back to Violet Wanyonyi. And another run on the right-hand side, but the pass was delayed. Alice Mudaisi was actually intimating that she was in a good position to get the ball, but again, Gentrix had other ideas. Another throw in. Again, ball back to Madong Simaya, and it's picked by Wanyonyi, and a very, very, very good goalkeeping there, narrowing the angle, Nawal Majok.
Well, Gilbert, look at that. The two defenders were just between themselves. Why would you do that kind of error, yet you know you have a lady by the name Violet whose runs have been so dangerous?
It's dangerous. Alice Muderi plays a short pass to Maslin Anyango. Anyango, not a well-taken cross there. Well, they still battle it out in the midfield. Picked out by the captain there. Again, a big punt forward, trying to get to Marian Gong. But again, good quality of defending by Vivian Makoha. Lays back to Lilian Awar. Awar, Makoha. Well, again, a big tussle there by YEI. Again, they don't give a good pass. Marlene Anyango. Anyango, Enes Mudaisi. Enes Mudaisi, a quick touch there from the most prolific goal scorer here. And Obunga has been caught in Norman's land by Helen Joseph Duma, the first assistant from Tanzania. Foul. Again, that was Obunga Engesha. Big punt forward by Yasana Sara. Again, quality defending there from Phoebe Owiti. Owiti Mudaisi. Mudaisi. She loses it up to the captain. Big cross there into the box. Again, asking for a handball. And the referee, Florentina Zablon-Chief from Tanzania, feels that there is an infringement there and gives an opportunity here for YEI to redeem themselves. And that is a proper handball there by Vivian Makoha. What do you think, Decha?
Really, I didn't see any handball incident there. But again, she should have let that for the goalkeeper. It would have been an easy pick for the goalkeeper. As we see Deborah looking at the position in which she is going to decide whether YEI at least get a consolation goal here. And she's going way behind.
Number 9, Luca Deborah. Luca Deborah. Look at Deborah, and a good save there from Lilian Awar. Golden opportunity for YEI Joint Stars of South Sudan, but with the easiest of chances, 10 yards away from the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper Luca Deborah fails to pick the mark. What a save.
And as you look at it again, she just didn't put enough pressure to it, but again, good insight from Lilian.
Corner kick again. Golmat Mili. Vihiga standing very strong. The diminutive and there's Mudaisi plays the ball forward to try and get hold of their little striker there, Violet. And that is a good control there, but the first touch by Obunga Engesha, who's now playing in a central position. not really getting it right.
Well, look at that save from Liliana War. She is Kenya's #1 goalkeeper. Look at the jubilation and the joy that she is, and the hugs from the teammates. She knows what that clean sheet means for her team. What a good save. That is absolutely excellent goalkeeping.
Absolutely excellent goalkeeping, rightly called by Gladys Midesha. Again, lot of legs around the ball. Joseph Makunga. It's a throw ball. The throw in. A long punt forward. Again, another opportunity for another throw-in. Tall ball under a lot of pressure.
Of course, you know, he's asking himself, where are the goals coming from? Is he going to seal those loopholes? The girls of YEI Joint Stars have been a little bit better in the second half. They've tried to control more from their possession, and that kind of defending just tells you how much they want this very spirited fight from this ladies of South Sudan.
And another run there, another run from Gentrix, as she pushes the ball too far. The goalkeeper, Nawal Mujok, comes in at the nick of time and in the process gets injured. That was a good pass, deep pass from the midfield to Gentrix, but she didn't control the ball the way that was expected.
Well, if you look at that replay, she had already she got a little push from the YEI Joint Stars defender, so she didn't get her footing right. Not unintentional. She didn't have any intent to injure the goalkeeper, so she's not going to get a card for that. Unfortunately, in football, if the keeper is down, everything else has to stop.
Absolutely.
So it's good time for them to.
And that was a good pass from Daisy to Abunga Engesha with a good header for the 6th goal of the Vihiga Queens. Well, the ball still back into play, and that's a good run again. Again, another foul, distance of about 35 yards on a very, very, very dangerous forward today. Obunya Engesha has really been a thorn in the flesh.
Look at that replay. You know, the YEI Stars lady are just not releasing the ball early enough. And the moment you don't do that, of course, your opponent is going to come and try and get the ball. And when they do get the ball, because you lost it so early, you will be tempted to go in and commit a foul. So it'll be very easy for you to make mistakes if you don't release the ball early.
Absolutely. And an injury on one of the Vihiga Queens players, and this is a happy man. Coach Charles Okere, who also doubles up as the women national team coach on the Vihiga Queens bench. I think he had his work cut out. Very, very good organization from the Vihiga side.
And it's not looking good for Teresa Egesha there. She is limping out of the pitch, Gilbert. It looks like it was a very, very heavy tackle. And you can see she's being assisted, and look at it. Just look at it.
Well,
she got to the ball, and it was 3v1. And really, her foot just got the better of the three ladies.
Yeah, the better of the three ladies. We hope that Obunya Engesha, who has already scored 2 goals at this point in time, will be able to recover and come back into play. The yellow card.
That is Mary Dunn receiving the yellow card. Therefore, a very dangerous tackle. Gilbert, really, that kind of tackle can give any player very serious injury.
Absolutely. Well, free kick for Vihiga Queens. And it will be taken by Gentrix with a shot there, but really not hitting the target. The goal kick, and the ball being picked by Nawal Majok, goalkeeper who came in place of Annette Power after conceding 4 goals. She has already leaked in 3 goals. We start from the back, playing a long ball to try and find Mary Quach. Again, not really a coordinated attack there. It's still in play. Denied there by the diminutive Udezi. Udezi now being able to give the correct kind of pass. The throw-in, Udezi. Referee says it's a foul, and it will be taken by Phoebe Owiti.
Well, it's good to see Terry back on her feet. She's just gotten back into the pitch just in time for this free kick.
Phoebe Owiti with a long punt forward, trying to get onto hold Obunya, and a good shot there by Gentrix. But again, it just misses. Going in by a whisker. Goal kick. Oh, that was not a poor. That's a poor clearance. Back to the goalkeeper. Liliana War plays the ball into the midfield to Maslin Anyango. Anyango gives it to John Nabire. Nabire back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha with the long pass, but well intended, but not a good pass at all.
Well, Gilbert, you know, if you're going to take those goal kicks and you know your foot is not very strong, you'd rather start by playing the ball with the wings. Put it on the line, create more space for your teammates to organize themselves. Because in the middle, it's always going to be a 50-50 ball. It's always anyone's ball.
Absolutely. Marlena Chieng, Morina Chieng, Masi Nyango. Masi Nyango, Vivian Makoha. Vivian Makoha, Maslin Chieng. Maslin Nyango. Nyango to the left. Big punt there. Is a good run by Obunya Engesha. But again, that was a big punt. He wasn't able to get to it. Goalkeeper Nawal Majok. A big punt in the middle. And seriously, Jay have really been pressed so hard that they have failed to net at least 2 or 3 passes consecutively, and that's a big trouble for Choal Lual, their coach, in the dugout. 7 goals in the 63 minutes with about 27 minutes to go. Vihiga still pushing hard. A good shot there again from Wanyunyi, and the goalkeeper Nawal Majok not being able to put her hands on it.
Well, if she did put her hands on it, that would have been a corner. Luckily, she missed it. But again, that shot from Violet really needed some hard energy to it for it to be able to cause any kind of problems.
Absolutely. And Yale have decided to sit back. Vihiga have slowed down in the last 5 minutes. Goalkeeper Naval Majok with a long punt forward. Captain there, trying so hard to try at least and salvage something out of this. Vivian Makoha back to Lilian Awar. Awar with a big pant. Again, the referee recognizes a foul. Again, it's the Vihiga Queens
Well, Gilbert, I have to say this YEI Joint Stars have looked much, much better since the restart. If you compare the way they were a time like now in the first half, they had already conceded almost 4 goals. Now we're getting into...
Well, another good run there by Morina Cheng. Morina Cheng, Wanyonyi, Wanyonyi! Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi tries to put the ball in the net.
Well, look at that pass. That defender just not doing enough to cut across, and that's a much better shot from Violet Wanyonyi, assisted by Maureen there. She just looked up and looked at where the goalkeeper was, put it on the left side of the goalkeeper, making it 8 for Vihiga Queens. That's a hat-trick for her in this match.
It's a hat-trick, and 65th minute, Vihiga lead YEI by 8 goals to 0. And they're still pushing ahead. Goalkeeper comes out, Majak plays the ball back to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi in the midfield. Wanyonyi plays it back to Maslin Anyango. Maslin Anyango not giving a good pass.
And you know, Gilbert, just before the goal, I was going to say how better composed YEI looked. And they just had to disapprove my statement by conceding an 8th goal, really. And look at that defense and how it's organizing themselves. It's 3v3 at the back, and when you have that kind of attack line from Vihiga, you want to make sure that you're pushing the numbers, and that high boot.
And this high boot, and another run again from Gentrix. Gentrix on the left-hand side. There it is, and with the easiest of chances, the goal yawning, Gentrix Chikangwa fails to put the ball in the net.
What a miss, what a miss. I think she just was a little bit overconfident about the net being empty, and I think the wind just played a number on her and pushed the ball a little bit farther away.
Well, it's very, very evident that Vihiga Queens are taking advantage of that high line, that space that is being left by the YEI defenders. The distance between the central defenders and the goalkeeper is too huge, and that is where Vihiga are really, really plotting their attacks.
Well, this YEI Joint Stars, again, if you look at their central defenders, as you are saying, they look to be following the ball and pulling away from the midfield. So they're being carried away by the ball.
And another run on the left-hand side again. Another good run, a good pass. Goalkeeper drops it. And Maureen Achieng in the 67th minute will definitely be going home with another match ball.
As you rightfully put it, and look at that, that is Violet Wanyonyi assisting her. It's like, you know, they're giving each other gifts. Maureen assists Violet, Violet assists Maureen. And Gilbert, if I'm not wrong, that's the second hat-trick of this game. So 2 balls might be going home from this particular match. Violet will go with hers, Maureen will go with hers, and what a display from Vihiga Queens from Kenya.
What a display from Vihiga Queens from Kenya. They had psyched out, and 68 minutes on the clock, still going 9-0. Vihiga Queens leading YEI Stars from South Sudan. And they are not relenting. They are still pushing forward. They know that Commercial Bank of Ethiopia have 14 goals at this particular point in time, and only having conceded 3 goals. And Vihiga, of course, have 11, so they still have to score a little bit more.
Well, Vihiga have 11 goals.
11 goals, yes.
If they add another 3, and that will have cancelled out, and there's a substitution here. We're seeing Janet Bundi coming in for Terry Egesha. That is Janet Bundi coming in for Terry. And you can see that injury seems, that knock she got looks a little bit painful for her. it was the right substitution to make, because this is not the kind of match you want to put so much pressure on her.
Absolutely, absolutely. Alice Mudezi with a long pan forward, collected by Violet Wanyonyi. She plays the ball back to Mudezi Enes. Another big pan forward. No player from the YEI side at the top.
No
Lilian Awar. Lilian Awar plays it to the diminutive Maslina Nyango. In the midfield there again, trying to get to the right side of the attack with a good run here by Violet. But again, being picked again, but a shot! What a shot! What a goal! At what a time, in what a place, what a player, Gentrix Mkangwa, out of this world. That was a blockbuster.
Look at that, and you know, the defender just controlled it and helped. Oh my God, what a shot. I'm telling you, these are the kind of goals that actually make this competition. And that is the Gentrix Shikangwa a lot of people have been waiting to see. This girl can score. They say, no Terry Agesha, no problem. We've got Gentrix, we can still score the goals.
Oh, that is scary. That is really scary. That was a scorcher. And I think Nawal just did the right thing to let the ball hit the net. That was a blockbuster. Well, Maslina Nyango has left the scene, and another prolific goal scorer, Topista Sitoma, has come on board. And YEI helping us out to count the number of goals that has been scored so far. Substitution, Maria Gong goes out, and in her place comes in Ayikoru Luka Ayikoru.
Well, Gilbert, Luka Ayikoru is the captain. Luka Ayikoru is the captain for this YEI Joint Stars. She is an excellent runner on those wings. They're probably just trying to...
Oh, another movement there by Gentrix. Gentrix, again, another cross there in the box. It's danger looming there. Danger looming in the box on the right-hand side of the attack. Again, in the midfield. And very, very good defending there from YEI, who pushes the ball outside. Alice Muderi, Gentrix Shikangwa. Gentrix again trying to find an opening, but again, tight marking there by the defenders. They're just kicking the balls out at this point in time. Phoebe Awiti. Phoebe in the midfield by Topista Situma. Topista Situma on the left, and it's Mudezi. Mudezi with a long pan forward, but this time round, Nawal Majok comes in at the nick of time to thwart that attack. Again, she pans the ball forward, picked by the Vihiga Queens, and it's definitely a foul on the new inclusion, Joan Nabire, playing as an attacking midfielder for Vihiga Queens. She's actually been on throughout.
Well, look at, you know, when you look at the kind of football that is being displayed here today, Gilbert, we've seen so many goals. We've seen a total of 21 goals already, just in one match day.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It keeps us off our feet here. And Vihiga looking for the goal difference here. It's looking for the goal difference with a long punt forward. But again, the first assistant, Helen Joseph Mduma from Tanzania, calls it for an offside. It's a foul there. It's a foul there. Again, Yasona Sara with a long punt. No man's land. It gets back to Yasona. Big punt forward. Straight to the goalkeeper, Lilian Award. She slows out the game. Plays the ball to her central defender there, Vivian Makoha. Makoha to the midfielders. And a long punt again, trying to find Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi. And another throw-in. Alice Muderi for Vihiga Queens. And it's a foul by Janet Bundi in the 74th minute. Janet Bundi, who came in for Obunya Engesha. Striker for a striker. A tough outing.
Tough outing.
Just
Good
one prize.
lessons.
Only one prize that all these 8 teams are looking for. A prize to represent the CECAFA region in the CAF Women's Champions League in Egypt towards the end of the year.
Well, Gilbert, you know, you always have to look at the glass half full. I think they've learnt a very incredible lesson here. And it's playing with this kind of teams that gives you the experience that you need to go back home and reorganize yourself.
Absolutely. Good experience. On the right-hand side, Alice Muderi. Again, quality defending there from Madong Maya. Again, good call there from Janet Bundi. Plays it back to Alice Muderi. Muderi, Phoebe Owiti. Owiti trying to play the ball right behind the defense. Cleared. Again, Vivian Makoha picked in the midfield. Midfield general there. Johan Nabwire. Nabire to Mudezi. Mudezi. And another good run there by Violet Wanyonyi, who had moved from the right to the left of the attack. Back to Phoebe Awiti. Phoebe Awiti, another big punt trying to get the ball to Janet Bundi. Janet played the ball wide to Alice Muderi. Muderi, again, very solid defending there from Yosana Sara. Picked up in the midfield. And again, YEI failing to find the right kind of passes. And of course, being brought to you by a very beautiful cameraman and women there, this game coming to you live on your screens. And at this point, Vihiga pulling out Gentrix and bringing in, donning number 19 jersey, Nora Ann. Nora Ann.
Well, we've just seen Gentrix Shikangwa making way for Nora, and really, she's done her job. And that beautiful goal she scored just before she left the pitch was an absolute screamer. Now she's giving way to Nora Ann. Nora Ann, really, for her, this is a match that she just wants to probably use to check her fitness level. She didn't take part in the first match. You know, when you're coming into this kind of match, it's going to be for you to see how much more you can bring it in. A little bit of injury concern here for YEI Stars. She's looking a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh, she's one of their strongest defenders, Jasona Sara. And again, midfield dominance by Vihiga Queens. They pick it up, Janet plays it down to try and get to Morina Cheng. But again, very, very, very tough call there from Noah Sumaya, who has done an absolutely outstanding job for YEI in this game this afternoon. 78 minutes on the clock with about 12 minutes to go, plus maybe 2 or 3 added time because of the injuries. Good cross there by Mudezi. Mudezi, another shot there from the inclusion, just Topista Situma. But again, still trouble looming. And the goalkeeper, Nawal Majok, comes in at the right moment to just thwart that attack. Well, they would say that today YEI is going down south. Of course, from the South Sudan, YEI has really had it rough into this game, conceding 10 goals and not even giving an answer
Well,
to
you
one of them.
know, the Queens have deemed this Stars, just telling them there's only one person who can take the spotlight. It definitely has to be a Queen, and they're not even giving them space to even touch the ball at all. And it's an absolute dominant Vihiga Queens here as they make another attack, Gilbert. That is going to bear no fruits there.
Bear no fruits. Violet Wanyonyi has really worked it out on the left-hand side. And of course, Lady Dows, PBC will play on Friday. CBE and YEI Stars at 4 p.m. And here at Kasarani Stadium, Simba Queens will be facing FAD at 1 p.m. And the New Generation will be playing Vihiga Queens. You can read it as it scrolls down your screen. Make a date with us on Friday, 3rd of September.
And Gilbert, it's good to remind them that that's the last game of the group stages.
The last game, and there's a good cross there from Alice Muderi. But again, a header from Janet Bundi doesn't really materialize.
I think that's Noah Ann who attempted to, get a goal herself. Wouldn't be so bad to get into the score sheet.
Yes, Nora Ann, who came in place of Gentrix Chikangwa, just getting involved in the action. Again, Jay still pushing forward. They're trying to find one of their own, but again, Daisy stands tall. Again, trying to get Violet Wanyonyi on the left-hand side. Daisy, ball back in the midfield. On to the central defender there with the big punt forward. Again, it lands into the path of Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi. And again, tough encounter here by YEI jointers.
No, the muscles are just giving in, Gilbert. When you look at that cross. Absolutely brilliant header by Egesha there. And might not read happiness in her face, but she is happy. And Maureen giving another beautiful assist to Violet Wanyonyi, who's been in absolutely brilliant form. And look again at Violet Wanyonyi now giving Maureen an assist as she takes the spills over from the goalkeeper.
Absolutely. Brilliant display here by the Vihiga Queens. And they're still trying those long shots. And of course, Maureen Achieng, who already has scored 3 goals and in contention for a match ball, tries to hit from a distance. Again, it's very evident that Yasona Sarah might not be continuing with this game.
She's been absolutely brilliant. The number of saves she's had to make, this lady has been instrumental. This is going to be a very big blow for YEI Stars. And I wonder what Coach Chol has left in him, keeping in mind his last match is going to be against CBE of Ethiopia. He will need his best players, and looking by how she's holding her face, it's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough one. I think
just an
she
awkward
must have,
landing.
yeah,
and she's in
awkwardly
tears.
landed.
Absolutely heartbreaking to see a player leaving the field in a stretcher. It's never a good scene.
It's never a good scene, and you can see from the faces there of the Vihiga Queens, they know that they got this. They got this. They came in a very strong side, polished to the attack, and got the desired goals. And I think YEI are just trying to manage the game right now. They know that it's better for them to try at least and minimize the number of goals that come their way. But Vihiga Queens still in possession of the ball at this point in time. Number 6, Jawan Abire. to throw it back to the central defender there, Vivian Makoha. Vivian Makoha, Phoebe Awiti. Phoebe Awiti trying to find Wanyonyi on the left-hand side. Back again to Phoebe Awiti. Awiti, Vivian Makoha. Makoha with the long run here by Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi, but again, another solid performance from Noah Sumaya and the central defense for YEI Joint Stars. 16, Alice Muderi plays the ball back to try and get number 10, Morina Cheng, and that cross lands into the right hands of the goalkeeper, Nawal Majok. 85 minutes gone. 5 minutes on the clock remaining. Vihiga, still a very, very organized side, dropping back when they lose possession of the ball, staying compact, and once they win possession of the ball, a lot of movement in and out, and they've really, really managed to keep YEI Stars at bay.
They've really improved defensively in this match. Much better defensive discipline. The midfield has been phenomenal for them. Everything they worked on during their rest day seems to have worked for them. They've scored the goals. They've controlled the match as they wanted. And this is exactly the kind of mentality they need going into their last group match stage on Friday.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A foul again on Nora An. 35 yards. There's a clear foul. It's a clear foul on Nora.
And I think it was a foul by Mary Dan. So there's Nora Ann and Mary Dan.
Very, very confusing names indeed. And with a free kick, Vihiga. What a distance. About 30 yards outside the box. 30 yards from the goalkeeper. And it takes a shot there, but not well organized.
That's
And
Joanna Bire. We've seen a lot of her this weekend, in this particular match, and that technical bench just relaxed, enjoying themselves, enjoying the beautiful game of football by these beautiful ladies who've decided to give us amazing display. Today has been all about goals galore, and it has not disappointed.
It does not disappointed. And of course, they're starting their own. Udezi. Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi with a good cross there to the goalkeeper. And goalkeeper does very well to hold on to that ball. Nawal Majok.
Clever, very clever from her. She left her marker, looked at where the goalkeeper was standing. She knows she has a powerful shot. Very good insight from the goalkeeper.
Very good insight. Nawal Majok has done brilliantly. Diminutive Alice Mudid. Crossing. Again, a shot from a distance there from Topista Situma. And makes it very easy for Nawal Majok.
Well, Topista did take it with her left foot, not her strongest. So, good, just good effort for her.
Good effort from her. And still prodding. They're still prodding. The Vihiga Queens still prodding. Again, another cross there coming from the diminutive left-footed Enes Mudezi. But goalkeeper Nawal Majok comes in at the nick of time.
Look at that.
It was a spirited shot there from Janet Bundi.
Well, Janet Bundi had her shot.
Mudezi. Ball still in play, goal mark Millie. And the ball is played well to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi on a stronger foot, Wanyonyi! But it really didn't hit the mark.
Well,
but
it would have
Vihiga are not done yet.
Well, it would have been 11 if they could decide who would take the first shot there. And Wanyonyi, she's been immense in this match. always testing the goalkeeper, and she's had to be on 100% since she came in.
Absolutely. Today, they are not goal shy, like in the first match they played against the Commercial Bank. Beautiful touch there from Vivian Makoha. Phoebe Awiti into the midfield. And a poor pass collected there by YEI Stars. Again, lands on Topista Situma. Bundi with a cross there. The 45 and a good shot there coming in from, should be Phoebe Awiti. Phoebe Awiti all the way from the center defense. Sorry, not Phoebe Awiti, it's actually Violet Wanyonyi.
She gets her fourth, and look at that effort from Janet. She just left her marker, put it in there, and what a rebound. I did catch a YEI Stars player, if I'm not wrong, and let's look at it again. Yes, it was a rebound, and the goal looks like 11 for Vihiga, 0 for YEI Stars.
Well, very good technical application. They're still going. Janet Bundi has really brought a lot of punch as a central striker. And again, an infringement from a distance of about 24 yards with only 2 minutes to go. Vihiga still looking strong. That is Janet Bundi, and a very good tackle there from Noah Sumaya, who's been very solid in their defense. Actually, Annette Adebo, who has actually come to play as a central defender now.
And Annette Adebo has a way of always asking for forgiveness very quickly before she gets a card. You know, referee, I didn't mean it. It's just the game.
Free kick, Enes Mudeizi. Well, the guys from Vihiga. And it rattles the crossbar, and with an open chance. Vihiga with an open chance. Mudeizi feels that she should have at least been on the scoreboard. She's been very instrumental, especially on the left-hand side. Good quality cross there. It hits the crossbar, but rebound lands right in front of them, but they decided, okay, maybe we've had enough.
And that kind of denial by the crossbar for Mudeizi. I mean, you know, as a captain, when you get a goal to your name, it usually gives you some level of confidence, but she's been absolutely brilliant. 11 goals for her and her teammates, as we see the goalkeeper getting attended to there. She must have stretched, landed a little bit awkwardly. She looks okay. She's going to shake it off as we look at the time.
Well, I think it's only the clock. It's only the clock that will save YEI from further blushes, because we have basically 1 minute to the clock, and of course the referee still giving them some few minutes just to see whether they can be able to settle on something. Phoebe Awiti plays the ball into the midfield, and Florentina Zablon Chief, the center referee from Tanzania, bringing this to an end. And what a way for the Vihiga bench. They've really made themselves proud. I am sure the supporters in Vihiga County are led by their governor,
And
have done very well so far.
They have, and I don't know, Gilbert, in the previous shot you saw immediately the whistle was blown. The Vihiga bench just went into prayer, just giving their thanks, saying, you know, it's not been easy. It was not an easy start for us, but we are thanking God as they wait for another match ball. You know, today we've seen 4 balls being given away, and Maureen is getting her own, Violet is getting her own. Just as earlier we saw Loza and Boozer get their own balls. What a display of football it has been, Gilbert. Absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. Number 21 on your screen is Violet Wanyonyi alongside Maureen Achieng. Both of them having scored, Maureen at least scoring 3 goals and Violet scoring 4 goals. And I think it has been phenomenal. It has been
And
phenomenal.
the joy on their faces. These ladies have been absolutely brilliant. You know, we saw Maureen being subbed off in the first match. She had just scored 2 goals before she was getting. And now we see YEI Stars discussing about their plan for the next game. Disappointed there, but what a match they've had.
What a match that Vihiga have had. Vihiga Queens in this particular match came with the work cut out, and full-time score is YEI Stars of South Sudan 0 and Vihiga Queens of Kenya 11. What a way to end this game. Well, Vihiga Queens have really had a nice time here at Kasarani and well represented in Nairobi, Kenya. Well, these are the highlights of the first half. A good cross there from Obunga and a beautiful goal there from Maureen Achieng. Well, they still had an opportunity to keep on moving, and that was a good run from the right-hand side by Violet Wanyonyi. She brings in a rasping shot. Goalkeeper tries to put her hands on it, and it ends up in goal. Another free kick there by Obunya Engesha puts her in a prime position for another goal. Wanyonyi kept on moving, and with a good rasping shot there, she scored in the 17th minute for the 5th goal of Vihiga. They kept on moving. Wanyonyi with a good run on the right-hand side, and she finds number 10, Maureen Achieng, to score the 5th goal in the 31st minute. Again, Gentrix Chikangwa, good rasping shot in the top corner in the 38th minute. They still kept on moving, and another crook course from the left-hand side found Obunya Engesha with a beautiful cross. 65th minute. Again, a beautiful ball there from none other than Maureen, finds Violet Wanyonyi in the 65th minute to score again the 8th goal. Well, a beautiful run again from Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi, goalkeeper fails to pick it, and Maureen celebrates in the 67th minute with a beautiful goal. Taken over again by Alice Mudezi. A good shot there from a distance from Gentrix Chikanga, scores the 10th goal, and there was still one more coming. This one coming from Janet Obunga, brings a 45. Quality shot there from Violet Wanyonyi in the 92nd minute to crown the day for Vihiga. 11 goals scored in one match, and at Kasarani Stadium in Group P standings, Commercial Bank of Ethiopia on 6 points, Vihiga Queens on 3 points, YEI joins us on 3 points. A New Generation FC from Zanzibar, 0 points. And from us, Gilbert Mavisi Serewa as the lead commentator. I was in the company of
Gladys Midate.
and see you again next time on Friday. From us, it's bye.
Okay. Thank you very much. The CECAFA zonal qualifiers for the Total Energies CAF Women's Champions League. Match number 8 just ended 11-0 with Vihiga Queens taking the day. In front of us we have the coach of YEI Joint Stars, Lua. Coach Lua, hard luck.
Hard luck and hard luck.
What really happened today? Your girls did not seem to be pushing so hard, and the team seemed to have got too many injuries compared to the first game. What do you think went wrong today?
شنو حاصل سودان الكاب البنات ما قدر ما هلب زيتا بدري وفي مطار مواقين كاليس.
في الحقيقة نشكر اللجنة المنظمة لاستضافتنا لمرة ثانية. حقيقة يعني كين في بداية بنقول لفريق بتاع كينيا نقول لهم مبروك، ونقول لفريق بتاعنا فريق يي نقول حرق لنا. حقيقة يمكن يعني السبب من الهزيمة يعني يمكن في جزء من اللاعبين تغيير بتاع الجو بتاع المنطقة ده يمكن عدد لبعض في وسط اللعيبة بيقوا هم بعد عدوا المباراة الأولى بيقوا هم عيانين، وبيقى في نقص في تيم يمكن عدد لنتيجة لأن احنا وصلنا له يعني لأول مرة يعني يمكن الفريق يمر بظروف، ولكن مع ظروف يمكن ساعد فريق بتاع كينيا عشان هو يقدر لهزيمة اللي هو هزم به فريق بتاع يي.
In the first place, I want to thank the organizers of the tournament, and then congratulations to Vihiga for the game, and hard luck to YEI Joint Stars. There are other factors that has contributed to this. One is the weather, and the two, almost we have players who have fallen sick, and due to the environment, or else the food. Therefore, that has reduced the number of players, and you have seen at the last minute we have almost 2 or 3 injuries, and they continued with less players at the end of the game.
Okay, Coach Lua is boiling to answer your questions.
Coach, damage has already happened. Now you're seeking to improve. Only in your last match against Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the team very well. It has performed well against other sides, beating all the other teams in the group. What will be looking to improve in that match?
قال هسي الحاصل التيم هسي عنده الحاصل المشكلة بتاع فريق دوغوا ليلة و يعني انت بتثبت سنويا للمستقبل الكورة بإثيوبيا ده فريق الدوغو na فروق اثنين كله وفي جروب هسي ماسك فوق انت يعني بيكونوا سنو عشان الفريق عشان YEI Joint Stars يوقف مع إثيوبيا الفريق بتاع إثيوبيا.
هو حقيقة ان احنا بنطلب من ربنا ان لعيبتنا اللي هم عيانين أن يكونوا كويسين عشان يتلاحقوا بأخواتهم البقية عشان للأقل التيم تكتمل وتقدر تظهر بنفس المظهر بتاعت الكورة الأولى. حقيقة يعني كان الفريق بتاعت أثيوبيا هو فريق يعني مقتدر بقدراته وخبراته، وإن كان في كم لعيبة من المنطقة بتاعت أثيوبيا، فلذلك يساعد الفريق بتاع أثيوبيا يكون بمظهر اللي هو ظهر به وهو غلب الفرق اللي معانا في المجموعة. وعشان كده نحن هنعمل يعني يمكن بعض الترتيبات هنسعى نعالج الحاجات اللي حصل ده، ونسعى برضو أن الناس المصابين والناس العيانين هم يكونوا كويسين حتى تيمنا تكتمل ويسهر بمسهر بتاع المباراة الأولى.
In the first place, the players are sick. Those and ask God that they heal very fast. Those who are sick, so that they come back to the team. Secondly, Ethiopia is in strength-wise, they are very strong, and looking forward that with the healing of the players, they come back to the team. We will be able to face Ethiopia.
Any more questions for the coach? Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Shukran.
يا شكرا. Thank you. مرحبا. Thanks.
Okay, I know you're very happy to be here. The appetite to score goals today was too high. Eh?
Yes.
Okay, we have Acheng and Wanyonyi. Well done, you scored 4 goals today, and Acheng had how many? You remember how many you scored?
3.
Oh, 3, beautiful. So what, Wanyonyi, what does it feel like to score 4 goals in a game?
Can I use Kiswahili first?
Please.
Okay, Nanjala Violet. Enyewe leo tulikuja kama tumejipanga. Despite of tuli lose game ya kwanza, but hatu give up. Tulikuwa na hiyo moral, tukajua kutangulia si kufika. Na tulijua kulose kwa leo isifanye to lose next game. So tulirudi huko pali tunakaa na tukajipea moral, tukajisai, tukasema next game wase we must win that game. Na tulikuwa na hiyo nguvu, tulikuwa tuna train hard. Kuna timu inaweza pigwa leo alafu kesho yezi kuwa na hiyo moral, lakini sisi tuli calm down na tukaamua majamaa hii kitu lazima tubebe. Na tunajua hii CECAFA lazima hii cup ibaki huku kwetu. Hasa leo tumekuja kama tuko moral yetu ilikuwa juu sana. Na tukitoka huko kila mtu alikuwa amesema lazima hii game tushinde. Bado tuko na game ya mwisho na tunajua even if tutatoka kwa pool kama number 2, haitushtui, bado tuko na chance. Na Wakenya wenye mko hapa tunawaambie tuko ready kubeba hii kikombe na tunajua Mungu atatuacha. Na kwa yale yote lazima tuweke God mbele juu yeye ndio upeana kila kitu. Hii talent si yetu wenyewe, ni Mungu alitupea na naona tunaitumia poa na hii kikombe tunaichukua. Asante.
Just like you've heard what I picked from this, the main thing is that they're determined to see this trophy remain here in Kenya. Acheng, have you scored 3 goals before?
No.
No. So what's the feeling like today?
Okay, I'm happy, but above all, I thank God and my teammates because it was a teamwork. And then all I can say is that we were determined to win. So when we entered the field, we knew what we wanted. So when the chances presented itself, we utilized them today.
Beautiful. Questions for the hungry strikers? Very hungry. They can go back and score more. Please.
Yes, congratulations. How does today's win motivate you ahead of the next game, and how does it change the mood in your camp ahead of the next game?
Okay, sisi kwa next game, si ati hiyo tu next game. Sisi tulikuwa tumeamua kama ni leo, yani ushindi yetu ilikuwa inaanza leo na kubeba CECAFA ilikuwa inaanza leo. Hata tulikaa chini tukaamua tukasema majamaa, leo ni kujituma na ni kujituma. Kila mtu coach amefanya part yake. Sasa yenye ilikuwa imebaki ni kudeliver tu. Juu ametufunza everything. So ni sisi tulikuwa tu deliver chenye ametufunza kwa uwanja na nimeona leo imehappen. So next game majamaa yenye tunaweza waambia tuna win more kushinda ya leo. Mungu awabariki.
Maureen, 6 goals on your name so far. On a personal level, what are your targets in this tournament?
Okay, as for me, I have this goal. I want to be the top scorer of CECAFA. So any chance I get, I'll utilize it.
Okay, thank you very much. Best of luck. Wishing you to score more goals.
Thank you.
Coach Charles Okoth. Boniface. Yeah. Assistant coach. Okay. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. The last time when you lost, it was so hard to see the smiles on the face, but today I can see you really smiling. What does this win mean? I know it puts you back into contention because you have one more game to go in the group, but what does it mean, and what does it bring to the team? Not just winning 11, but what does it bring to the team in terms of the psychology?
Chenye naenza sema ni hii win ni motivation kwa team tuzidi kuwork hard, sababu wakati tulilose game tulikuwa low kidogo, lakini tukazidi kwa encourage. So hii win naichukua ni kama ni motivation tu kwa wachezaji wangu.
Okay, just like you said, as easy as that, this win is big in the sense that it really motivates the players ahead of the other games to come. Please, any questions for assistant coach?
Coach, congratulations tena mara nyingine. Tulipokuwa hapa last time haukuwa na furaha sana, lakini leo najua labda plan yenu ilifanyika vizuri. Mimi nina swali tu kupande wa kikosi chako. Tuliona your lead striker kidogo ametoka. Hali yake iko vipi na huenda akakuwa available for the next game?
Hiyo siwezi ongelea kwa saa hii, sababu lazima nijulishe na daktari wa team the level of injury yenye ako nayo, ndio nijue ile injury yake iko kiwango gani.
Coach, hongera sana kwa ushindi wa leo. Umefunga timu magoli mengi zaidi, ni magoli ya rekodi katika michezo hii ya CECAFA. Mfano wa kumpiga nyoka kichwani. Je, ilikuwa ni statement kwa wapinzani?
Yeah, naweza sema ni statement, but now lazima tena tu work hard. Sababu bado kuna kazi mbele, sababu haijakuwa game ya kwanza na ya mwisho. Bado tuko na game kama 2-3 zenye tunajipangia.
Coach, labda swali langu la mwisho. Ukiangalia timu ambazo zipo katika makundi ya kundi lingine, Simba Queens hali kadhalika Lady Doves, ni timu gani ambao unaona kweli ungependa kupatana nayo katika nusu finali?
Kwa saa hii timu yoyote, unajua kama coach unajipangia timu yenye inakuja siku ya game. Hiyo day ikifika, whether ikue Simba ikue Doves, hapo ndio sasa strategy itaanza kujipanga tu yenyewe.
Please.
Then coach, going into your last fixture, you've scored 10 goals today. What message will you give to the girls to avoid compliances in your last fixture?
Pardon?
What message will you give to the girls to avoid compliances going into your last fixture?
The message I'll give to my team is just to focus for the next games. Sababu bado tuko kwa mashindano, so wazidi tu kufocus.
Coach, ukiangalia katika mechi ya kwanza ya makundi uliweza kupoteza na kwa sasa ukarudi kwenye mchezo. Ni nini ambacho ulijifunza kwenye mechi ya kwanza na ukaweza kutilia maanani kuweza kuandikisha ushindi siku ya leo?
Kawaida kwa mpira lazima ujifunzie kwa makosa. Then unaporudi kwa wachezaji, mnarekebisha hiyo makosa. Then mnakuja mnaiperfect. So tulirekebisha makosa yetu na tumeona imetusaidia, mali tumerekebisha imetusaidia, ndio maana tumefunga mabao.
Coach, unaamini sasa hii defense line yenye ulikuwa nayo ndio utaitumia kwenda mbele ama bado tutaona changes? Manake leo tunajua kwamba uliweka makeshift.
Niko na wachezaji, niko na depth ya defense. So ni more of rotational. So kama leo nimepumzisha mmoja kwa mazoezi, asipotena pick, baada atapumzika niweke mwingine sababu niko na defenders.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach. Asante sana. Wishing you all the best of luck. Media, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Again on Friday.